ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्यशङ्करादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तगुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव वाप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं साधकभक्तसेवकधर्मस्थापकानां समस्तशक्तीनां सम्पदानाम् अवाप्त्यर्थं विघ्ननिवारणार्थं च विश्वशान्तिकल्याणसमैक्यता एकदा प्राप्त्यर्थं श्री तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनम् आदिशङ्करभाष्यसमेत वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम् we have to do from व्याहृति उपासनम्। ॐ अथ तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्य प्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शं नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। व्याहृति उपासना मंत्रास फॉर चैंटिंग। भोर्भुवः सुवरिति वा एतास्तिस्रो व्याहृतयः तासामुहस्मै तां चतुर्थीं माहाचमस्य प्रवेदयते मह इति तद्ब्रह्म स आत्मा अंगान्यन्या देवताः। भोरिति वा अयं लोकः भुव इत्यन्तरिक्षं सुवरित्यसौ लोकः मह इत्यादित्यः आदित्येन वाव सर्वे लोका महीयन्ते। भोरिति वा अग्निः भुव इति वायुः सुवरित्यादित्यः मह इति चन्द्रमाः। चन्द्रमसा वाव सर्वाणि ज्योतिर्गंसि महीयन्ते। भोरिति वा रुचः भुव इति सामानि सुवरिति यजोगंसि मह इति ब्रह्मा। ब्रह्मणा वाव सर्वे वेदा महीयन्ते। भोरिति वै प्राणः भुव इत्यपानः सुवरिति व्यानः मह इत्यन्नम्। अन्नेन वाव सर्वे प्राणा महीयन्ते। तावा एताश्चतस्रश्चतुर्धा चतस्रश्चतस्रो व्याहृतयः तायो वेद स वेद ब्रह्म सर्वेऽस्मै देवा बलिमावहन्ति। स य एषोऽन्तर्हृदय आकाशः तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषो मनोमयः अमृतो हिरण्मयः अन्तरेण तालुके य एषस्तन इवावलम्बते सेन्द्रयोनिः यत्रासौ केशान्तो विवर्तते व्यपोह्य शीर्षकपाले भूरित्यग्नौ प्रतितिष्ठति भुव इति वायौ सुवरित्यादित्ये मह इति ब्रह्मणि आप्नोति स्वराज्यम् आप्नोति मनसस्पतिं वाक्पतिश्चक्षुष्पतिः श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः एतत्ततो भवति आकाशशरीरं ब्रह्म सत्यात्मप्राणारामं मन आनन्दं शान्तिसमृद्धममृतम् इति प्राचीनयोग्योपास्व पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं द्यौर्दिशो वान्तरदिशाः अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यधिभूतम् अथाध्यात्मं प्राणो व्यानोपान उदानः समानः चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाक्त्वक चर्ममागस्सग्गस्नावास्थिमज्जा एतदधिविधाय ऋषिरवोचत पाङ्क्तं वा इदगं सर्वं पाङ्क्तेनैव पाङ्क्तग्गस्पृणोतीति ओमिति ब्रह्म ओमितीदगं सर्वम् ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्योश्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ते ओमिति सामानि गायन्ते ओगं शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगंसन्ति ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्षन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानेति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ओम शांति 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 ओम अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानंद वल्ली शांति मंत्रः ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 ओम अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः ओम ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाश सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरावः अद्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणः पक्षः अयमुत्तरः पक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ओम शांति शांति शांतिः saluting Brahma Tattva, saluting Shruti Mata, saluting all the Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishis and Munis, Gurus, Devatas, saluting to our own Gurudev, Guru Parampara and Ishtadeva. We will every day, this should be our duty. We have to take it like this. Now, Taittiriya Upanishad, second Brahmananda Valli. First of all, We have to be little alert regarding what? Not missing the opportunity. The human life itself is an opportunity. Out of many, many yonis, becoming human is a great opportunity. We can miss it by living life like animals, which is easy and difficult to live like human. But what to do? We got the opportunity. We have to use it to live with humane qualities. That feeling we have to have inside. Else, as a human, we have missed the opportunity of being human. In the human life also, coming to spirituality is an opportunity. That opportunity we can forego and live life like ordinary human being running for only arthakama in samsara. Always it is tough only. Nobody says it is easy to be spiritual. That also on regular continuous basis. Even after coming to spirituality, among all the sadhanas or the things we do, coming to listen to the Shastras is again a special opportunity. We have to use that chance or opportunity without missing it. We can miss it. Take it casually, lightly. What's there in studying Shastra? Let us do our upasana. Let us do our pilgrimage. Let us do what every day we are doing puja in our house. And we know some bhajan kirtan. And we are doing our japa. So, with that satisfaction, some people even miss this opportunity of listening to Shastra, which is higher than them. Then, in the opportunity of listening to Shastra, the greatest of the opportunity is to be able to get a chance to listen to nothing less than the Upanishad itself. This Upanishad Adhyayana Avakasha or chance is rarer than the rarest thing for a human being if it comes in his life. Even this also one can miss, by taking it for granted or lightly, or being irregular or insincere, or not putting forth the due efforts in the class or beyond the class. One can miss even this opportunity. But then, let us not. Although none of all these sequential things are easy, everything is difficult. Nobody says it is easy. If they are saying it is easy, they are wrong. To be regular to the class of the Upanishad with Bhashyam is not an attempt easier, and even when you put the attempt up, it is not easier to understand what is said in that overnight. But then this is the rarest opportunity. We can go on trying. And one rahasyam is what? When we take it lightly and miss the opportunity, we continue to be where we were, where we are. But when we seize this opportunity and try little by little, bit by bit, to those newer heights of understanding, newer heights of acceptances, newer heights of inspirations, newer heights of pursuits, there is a chance for us to crawl, even if though it is very slow. This is how anybody who has evolved to the Brahmanambhuti level have gone through. So, main thought of the day is what? It's a great opportunity to listen to Upanishad with the Bhashyam, though not easy to be regular, not easy to be able to understand every sentence of the Mula mantra as well as the Bhashyakara's Bhashya. Even if 1-2% also is understood, it fizzles out the moment we are off the glass into the routine of the world. And yet, we have to tell to ourselves, nobody can tell that there's no way for my evolution than by being regular to Upanishad Adhyayana. Only when we become the Shrota and Swadhyaya Karta for a long time, then we get the tuning to what Shruti Mata is saying, what Bhashyakara is explaining. That time, slowly the meaning starts revealing. In the meantime, continuing the routine, what we have to do, not involving in the nuisance or nonsense. More importantly, the Rishi Guru Devatas are there. Their parampara is there. We have to keep on praying to them to equip us, to give us the required strength, stamina to do. Along with that, we ourselves should know where we are going wrong in the worldly activity, because of which our time and attention is distracted. Them also, when we have to curtail, when we can curtail. Along with all that, one exclusive thing is the Nirantara Abhyasa of making ourselves qualified and fit for this Tattva Vidya, the Atma Vidya, the Brahma Vidya, the Upanishad Vidya, this Mukti giving Vidya. All said and done, it's a great opportunity. And it's an everyday opportunity, giving us an opportunity to seize the opportunity or even to miss the opportunity. The more we make use of it, the more we are helping ourselves. First, to be regular, sincere to this habit we have to develop. Second, to listen attentively that habit. Third, then this exclusive desire in us कि कुछ भी करके शास्त्र में जो बात बताया, आई वॉन्ट टू ग्रास्प इट, आई वॉन्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड इट इन इट्स टोटैलिटी. That desire is one of the beautiful desires. Such person in the class of the class, always only in not only the study of Upanishad in the class and of the class, his Mananam Chintanam is always happening only on that thema which is heard by him in the Upanishads. So, if we can by some means can reach to that level, like in Bhakti, we have reached to a stage where effortlessly the mana is chanting the name of the Lord. Effortlessly to the mouth also, Bhagavan Nama alone is coming. That means to that extent, Bhagavad Sambandhi samskaras we have entered into our heart. Pata nahi how many lives effort it is. But it's a great thing. When the same thing is done more consciously, when the desire for Bhagavan darshan is very stronger, then it takes up the speed, the fifth gear wala sadhana. Here also, all the time if you are able to contemplate only on the truth, the reality, as told by the Shastra Upanishad, we have reached to a great extent in our evolution, great level. Then in that when you add that any cost, any price, any effort, I must have the anubhuti of that tattva or the Brahma. Then these thing takes a again higher speed. It takes a higher turn. Such person is no more interested in the world. He becomes so highly sensitive that he can't afford to even take away his attention from Paramatma for anything else, for any even once. Such person alone can be qualified to sit on Sita meditation. There only, whatever the knowledge is understood, he can deeply ponder over to pierce through all the layers of misunderstandings and delusions. When he continuously goes on in that, then he'll be able to comprehend or apprehend the self within, the ultimate goal. It cannot be explained how it looks like. So the thought is this is a great opportunity to be human, to be spiritual, to be the student of Shastras, in that also to be the student of the Upanishadic Shastras. There are many Shastras, but Upanishad, and in that, lucky to us, we have got the interest to take the help of Bhagavan Sri Bhashyakara also, Adi Shankara. It is a rarer than rarest. So, how we deal with it, how we respond to it, how we are sensitive to it, all that determines our efforts in that direction or not. So, too, the result in the form of the understanding, the inspirations, and then the deeper sadhanas and experiences. So, may we all seize this opportunity of studying Upanishads at every cost. May nothing in the universe distract us, take us away from this pursuit, although we are at a very, very, very gross level, although it's very difficult to us, although we are not able to completely comprehend it. That is how it is for everyone. Otherwise, why it is said that rahasyam or nihidam guhayam? If it were so easy, everybody would have pursued this only. ये मुश्किल है, though it is tempting us with the infinite bliss and moksha, yet it is मुश्किल है. इसलिए लोग, even though it's temporary in binding, they go for the samsaric pursuits of artha kama. If it is easy, everybody would have come for it only. So no easiness in that, no simplified path in that, and nobody else can do it for us. And unless we are committed with regularity, taking an opportunity, that we cannot reach to the deeper and higher understandings. And it is true for all. There are no recommendations or reservations in this case. So, having said so, slowly, steadily, little by little only, we try to listen, try to understand, try to digest. Now, coming to the second Brahmananda Valli, Prathama Anuvaka. So, the Brahma Vidapnoti Param is Sutra Bhuta Vakyam. It is so much of Sutra Bhuta that it should inspire us for becoming or trying to become Brahma Vetta by having Brahma Vidya, because it is the Paraprapti sadhana. Okay, then we have explained it exhaustively. I believe it should be sufficient. Now we come to the contemplation meditation to have the Brahma Darshana so that Brahma Prapti is obtained. So, what are we doing? Brahma Vidya pursuit. For what? Brahma Darshana. For what? Brahma Prapti. For what? Paraprapti. This sequence should be remembered every day. What Upanishad is teaching is Brahma Vidya. With that Brahma Vidya, when we deeply study contemplation, what we will get is Brahma Darshana. What the Brahma Darshana leads to is Brahma Prapti. What the Brahma Prapti leads to? Brahma Vid Apnoti Param. Therefore, the ultimate is gained. So, it is a gain of already gained thing. Through having its darshana, by knowing it and trying to have darshana. So, knowing is called Vidya. That is being given to us. And in continuation of the first Sutra Bhuta Vakya, in the second one, the Brahma Swarupa Lakshanas are given. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma. Here, what very important we have to understand is these three words, though they are words, they are indicating Brahman. So, they are not the Visheshanas of Brahman, the descriptions, etc. Brahman is beyond any of the describable Lakshanas. Yet, you have to indicate it. To indicate it, you have to use the Lakshanas, and Lakshanas have to be told in the Pada Shabda only. Therefore, because of the inevitability of the Guru to teach to the disciple, he had to take out the nearest words for describing Brahman without describing him, indicating Brahman and telling the Lakshanas of Brahman. So, what these are? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, they are all indicative qualities, Lakshana Brahma, in such a way that these Lakshanas and the Lakshita Brahma are only in the words they are different, but actually they are one. This clarity we have to get and hold on to that. To put it in simple way, Satyam is not explanation, description, Lakshana ityadi of Brahman. Then what it is? Satyam itself is Brahman. Brahman itself is Satyam. In this clarity we have to come. Basic thought is this. First, the basement before we build up the building of contemplation meditation. What is the first one? Satyam alone is Brahmana, Brahman alone is Satyam. In that way is this description. Sugar alone is sweet, sweet alone is sweet. Sugar, in that way its description, not like the Neela Utpala. The Neela Utpala problem kya hai? Neela can be not necessarily Utpala, it can be other flowers also. Is it not? In blue color, many other flowers are there. So too, Utpala need not be Neela alone. It can be Rakta and Spita and Shweta. So many colors for the Utpala. So that way, there the Visheshana Vishesha are exclusive to them and they are again can be separate. There are many Vijatiya Vastus and which having different Lakshanas or the Visheshanas. Is it not? In that way, in Brahma, when Brahman is said as Satyam, it is not like that. Like the Neela can be other than the lotus. So too, Satya can be anything other than Brahman. That is not possible here. There, the lotus is other than the Neela, it can be Pita Rakta. But in this case, Brahman cannot be anything other than Satya, called as Asatya. So, Satyan has to be Brahman only, Abrahma cannot be Satya. So, Brahman has to be Satyam only, Brahman cannot be Asatya. You understand? This is how this thing has to be understood. Lakshana of the Brahman as Satyam, as well as Jnanam, as well as Anantham are this way related. After this, then this Satya Shabda is explained. Satyata, Satya Swarupata, Satya Lakshanata of Brahman, Bhagavan Adi Shankara took up for explanation in very few words only. And if you are tuned, you get the Sara of it and then Joy of it. So what is Satyam? Yad Rupena Yad Nishchitam Tad Na Vyavicharati iti Satyam. Tat Satyam. Okay. Yad Rupena Yad Nishchitam Tad Rupam Na Vyavicharati Tat Satyam. How many times you have to contemplate on it till we enter into the deep meaning or feeling to convey which Bhagavan has given us this definition. See, this is how we are taken beyond everything near to Brahman. That is his effort. One main definition he gave, the secondary definition he gave, alternative or the opposite of it, then he made us contemplative. Yad rupena, yad nishchitam, tad rupam na vyabhicharati iti tat satyam. That which is defined with something and that definition never goes away. Definition kaho, explanation kaho, lakshana kaho, this roop say in whatever the form. Form is not again form like square or a triangle, etc. In whatever the way, something is described in some way. The description of that indication of it, the definition of it, that quality of it. Navyavicharat. If it doesn't go away, fade away, stays permanently, that is that vastu's satyata. Remember, that vastu's satyata means that vastu is that only. Satyata means that only here. It's not again, don't go into that mood of vastu and its guna, it doesn't change. That guna itself is vastu now. So, sweetness is nishchita as the rupam of the sugar. Navyavicharat. Therefore, sweetness is the satya of the sugar. Again, if the mind is differentiating sugar and sweetness as separate, the explanation is not caught by us. By saying so, the sweetness is satyata of the sugar. Sugar and sweetness, they are two. That difference is dropped. They are one only. सो वो लक्षण वाला जो है वो ही वो है और वो इसी लक्षण का है. Why this all has to be told? Because in the world, whenever we have the knowledge of anything, in the means of knowing its qualities, etc., only we are knowing it. Some quality. Brahma Kavi, there's no other way for us to indicate to the Brahman, it has to be told. But anything told, it becomes a quality. Then it becomes a changeable, perishable, all those problems come. Therefore, the only word with which Brahman can be indicated is Satyam. Satyam is Navyavicharadit. Now, the contrast of it is what? Yad Rupena Yad Nishchitam. Tad Vyavicharat. Tad Anrutam. See how important it is. Therefore, first understand what is Anrutam. That which is Vyavicharat, Vikaram, Prapnoti, Vikara Prap. Therefore, what is Brahman? It is Satyam is that which never gets modified. Clear? And this way, all modifiable Vikaravan, when we go on rejecting, there is some avikari we find. That is called Brahman. And that Brahman avikari Satyam, when it is found, it has to be found as our own self finally. Therefore, tat satyam sa atma tat tamasi shveta keto, as was said in Tattvaji Mahakya Upadesha in Chandogya, this is what we see there. Inevitably, the anveshana of the Satya, that is Rutam, that is Avyavicharat, by rejecting everything that is Anrutam, Asatyam, Avyavicharat, Vyavicharat and Abrahma, we reach to that point which is the self, which is everywhere the same. That is called as Brahma. And it is a very sublime Upadhi Atita Anubhuti. It is inevitably abstract. There is no way. It has to be like that. But experiential. It is not as as concrete as explainable in any of the parameters. But it is not there, you can't say it is there. Otherwise, Shruti will not talk. Gurus will not say कि हमने किया sadhana, we have experienced that, they can't. As every guru tried and experienced is true, so too every guru, while trying to explain the experience, either they have failed in explaining or they could explain only this way. There is no other way. Okay. Now the conclusion of this Satyam is what? Never ever forget or miss it. Ataha evam ataha Satyam evam sadeva Satyam iti avadharanat. Sad alone is Satyam. The pure existence alone is reality. As it is said in that Chandogya Upanishad. Ataha Satyam Brahma iti. Be attentive. Satyam Brahma iti. Brahma vikarat nivartayati. By saying so, the Shruti Mata is rejecting all sorts of vikara from Brahma. Therefore, Brahma is avikari. Brahman is Satyam, Satyam is avikari. This is to be by-hearted throughout life. That's why Nitya, Anitya, Nityanam, Chetana, Chetananam, all is said in other Upanishads to indicate this only. So, whenever from now onwards we remember the word Brahma, we have to understand its Lakshana to be, explanation to be, that it is avikari. Therefore, everything Vikara Yukta is a Brahma. And everything Vikara Yukta is Vinasha Shila also. The Vinasha Shila can never give a Vinasha Sukha or Shanti, which is our goal. Don't forget, our goal is Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti, Nirankusha Nitya Nirantara, Sukha or Ananda Prapti. So, only Brahman is avikari, everything is vikaravan. Then, if not today, tomorrow, day after, whenever, we get inspiration to discover Brahma. This helps us. This alone helps us. That Brahman is Satyam, Satyam is Avikari, therefore Brahman is Avikari, everything other than Brahman Avikari is Vikari. And in between that Vikari of Brahma alone, the Avikara Brahman is hidden. When the Vikara, everything is rejected, then the Avikara is recognized. Brahma. As my own essential self, as the self of the entire universe. So the main thought, as long as drushti is on, the vikaravana waves, we cannot see the water. In the water, there is no vikara. It is abstract. As long as our attention is on the ornaments, vikaravan, we can't have the attention on the avikari gold. Therefore, the art of devaluing the vikaravan, everything other than Brahma, we have to develop as a habit, because of which, or as a result of which, the influence of the vikaravana is not so much in our intellect to distract us when we are trying to reach the avikari Brahma. If the vikara yukta, everything other than Brahma, is valued, is given importance, if repetitive we are involving in it, and if the impressions of that are gathered, more importantly, if the thoughts of the mind are only about it all the time, we can never reach to the avikari. Therefore, the art of devaluing and rejecting the vikaras, vikaravan vastus, for a long time we have to do. This is called actually vairagya. I want Brahman, Brahman is a vikari, everything other than Brahman is vikari, I don't want that, therefore I am rejecting it. Rejecting when it is given freely, when we go and put effort for it, or rejecting slowly, slowly, even at the mind level. It should become a habit. The Jagat, Nirantara, Vikaravan, it is not Brahman, I am not interested in it. You understand? The variety of relations in the world, involvements in the world, are Vikaravan, they are not Brahman, I am not interested in them. Deha, Nirantara Vikarashila, it is not Brahman because Brahman is Avikari. My goal is Brahman, therefore, my identity, my value, my importance given to the Deha, slowly it should reduce. Think about it. Only such person, in spite of whatever the Deha is going through, can contemplate on the Avikara Brahman. The other person who has interest in the body, with whatever the reason or relation, he cannot focus on the Paramatma who is Avikari, who is beyond the Deha. This is a secret. What is the problem with us? No problem with us as regards listening to Shastra is concerned. Sometimes we may be even understanding also. But why the true sadhana leading to the true experience is not coming? Because we are not able to devalue or reject everything which is vikarava. So sometimes the world we may reject. But then the upadhis are there, no annamaya, pranamaya. He say janma, 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 janma tadatmya is not allowing us to do the rejection of. Intellectually we are able to understand. But the vasanas are so strong, habits are so strong that हम रह ही नहीं सकते इन पंचकोशों के अलावा. That is why in this Upanishad, the Panchakosha Viveka also is given so much of importance to only do simple thing. What is achieved through all these millions of lives of exercise of spirituality is Only these two. That everything other than Brahman is Vikaravan. I don't want that. Brahman alone, Avikari, Sadvastu, and I want that. Only to achieve this, only all the exercise. The Panchakosha Viveka, the Gunatraya Viveka, the Dehatraya Viveka, the Avastatraya Viveka. कितना नामी आप शास्त्र पढ़ो सब, उस सब का उद्देश्य एकमात्र. If I can catch it, then we become sincere in that thing in which we are supposed to be sincere. What is that? In knowing all these as Vikaravana, then rejecting the Ahanta and Mamatta with them. Then only the Avikari Satya Brahma we can discover. And the Guru Shruti Shastra gives us time. How much time you are giving, sir, for us to achieve this? Answer is as much as you want. It is your mukti, your liberation. You decide, you put effort. We will wait for millions of even creations or the eternities also. We will wait for युगा महायुगा. हमको इसमें क्या है? It is you, my dear student of Brahma Vidya, seeker of Brahma Vidya, should decide you want to take more time by doing sadhana very, very vaguely. You want to give less time, you want to achieve by intensifying your sadhana. And what is sadhana? Again and again understanding everything other than Brahman is Vikaravan. Unless the Vikara Yukta is rejected or transcended, Avikari Brahma Anubhuti cannot come. Therefore, going on rejecting Neti, Neti. I told you the example of legions and all. The more we reject the Panchakoshas, the more they keep on coming, coming, coming. How long they will come, we don't know. It is an eternal struggle and war. Go on doing without questioning how long. Keep on doing when the doing is sufficiently done. And what is sufficiency? You and I cannot define. At that time, our focus on the Avikari Brahman can be made and you can achieve him. How long the army has to protect the nation from terrorists and these intruders? Eternal it is. As long as country is there, so long they have to be there only. In the same way, how much time it takes, we don't know, but we have to give time and go on doing. This is what a sadhaka does silently after understanding what is sadhana. Sadhana is realizing the avikari Sat Brahma, Satya Brahma, by rejecting all vikaravan, everything other than Brahma. And in everything other than Brahma, the Panchakoshatmaka Deha Upadis of Jiva, then the Panchamahabhuta made, the entire universe comes. All of that should go away from our vision. That's called as meditation. True meditation. Then we discover him, the Avikari Satya Brahma. Ataha Satyam Brahma iti Brahma Vikarat Nivartayati. Satyam Brahma is a sentence whose conclusion is what? Brahma is free from modifications. Anything other than Brahma is modifying. For various reasons, our attention on modifying the world other than Brahman has become a habit. Our attention, our interest, our liking, this is called delusion. Though it is binding, still we go for it. We are not even understanding that it binds us. Like the addicts, though they know that it is harmful to the deham, still they involve in it. Do you understand? As people are in moha and addiction to the things of the world, so do you and I are in moha and addiction to the thing called as world. That shackle is to be broken, which is very tough, very, very tough. And that is achieved only when one thing is very clearly convinced. What's that? It is I am the Brahman because of whom the Jagat is there. It is not vice versa. When we are pakka, then only we'll be able to start rejecting all these words on the seat of meditation. Then only the avikari sadvastu atma is experienced. आप फिर से बता रहे कब तक करना है, करते जाओ करते जाओ। लाइक कब तक उपनिषद सुनना है, सुनते जाओ, बस करते रहना हो जब तक ब्रह्मा ना मिले। Such questions of how long, how many efforts, these should never be in spiritual's mind, seeker's mind. You need to do all this to reach to him, just keep on doing. माउंटेन क्लाइंबिंग कर रहे हैं केदारनाथ, तो यू कांट आस्क हाउ लॉन्ग ये हो, ऐसा क्यों रोड है। तुमको भगवान का दर्शन करना है, चुप चलते रहो ओम नमः शिवाय कहते हुए। सोटो सत्यम ब्रह्म विकारात निवर्तयति। So Brahma is Satyam, everything Brahma, other than Brahma is Anrutam, is all Avikari, all Vikari, he alone is Avikari. So this is what one explanation of first word Satyam. It is defined. Now you have to work out. You have to do meditation. You have to go deep in meditation by rejecting all Anrutam or Asatyam, which is Vikaravan. Then we reach to the Avikari. It's a great exercise. But as again and again we are telling, when our antakarana is at vikshipta mode of vikshipta level as it is now, this sadhana to reach Brahman is such a vain, fruitless effort. Other than struggle, we cannot reach only. Therefore, it is better to bring the chitta to the ekagra bhumi through the vairagya, through karma yoga, through bhakti, through ashtanga yoga, through antakarana shuddhi. After that, it's a cakewalk. Otherwise, it is the thorn walk. Cakewalk, every step is inspirational, joy. Thorn walk, every step is misery. If you have lifted your foot from this thorn and have to put in the next, there is nothing but thorn only. Again, you have to put. How painful it is. In the same way, we will keep on struggling in spirituality, on meditational seat, to know the Brahma if we have not cleared our antakarana of the earlier three sthitis of kshipta moda vikshipta or rajotamo. If it to nullify kiye bina, meditational goal cannot be reached. Please, don't try to make this statement otherwise. By living a life of rajas and tamas, wanting to attain the Paramatma, who is beyond three gunas but attained through the sattva guna utilization, is an impossible dream. कुछ भी हो जाए, ये बात भी इतने बार सुन सुनकर either you have to leave the spiritual path and be worldly continuous, or you have to leave the everything which creates rajas and tamas and come to the Shuddha Sattva, use it for Tattva. हम ना कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग जीवन में जीते हैं, दैट की वर्ल्डली भी चलेगा, स्पिरिचुअल भी चलेगा। दिस इज ओनली अप टू सिद्धांत ज्ञान प्राप्ति, दैट दोनों चलेंगे कि यू कैन लिव योर लाइफ वर्ल्डली, यू कैन कम टू क्लासेस एंड यू कैन इंटेलेक्चुअली अंडरस्टैंड. Intellectual understanding never gave moksha na, to anyone. He continues to be same jiva with upadhi tadatmya. The intellectual understanding that I am sarvavyapaka Brahma has to be an experience. Then only there is mukti for it, mukti for us. But we will never be able to do that unless the compromising aspect is transcended. There's no other way. Brahma is avikari, everything is vikari. How can holding on to the vikarayukta jagat we can reach to avikari bata? In other words, everything other than Atma is Anatma. And holding to Anatma, you want to get the Atma. Are by holding to Atma, only you can get Atma, na? And for that, you have to drop the hold on the Anatma. How simple it is. But our deluded minds overpowered by the desires for the world, entertained from million lives, will not allow us to even understand the simple things of sadhana. Therefore, we can't do sadhana. And everything is struggle. Through study of Upanishad, Brahma Prapti alone gives Param, Brahma Vidapnut Param. To reach to that also is a great struggle. We have only studied. We have not studied our life in this regard. Therefore, Paraprapti is my Laksha. Further Brahma Vidya I will gain. Other than Brahma Vidya, I want nothing else. इस मूड में कहा आए हम. हमको तो और भी बहुत चीजें दुनिया के चाहिए. उसके साथ साथ मिल गए तो ब्रह्मन, नहीं तो कोई वांदा नहीं. To such person, spirituality is only time part, comfortable thing, not a struggling sadhana. See, he doesn't struggle. He says, जो सुना है सुन रहे ठीक है, जो होगा देखे. अब let us enjoy the world which is freely available. Is it not? That is why everybody cannot become spiritual. That too, spiritual seekers of the truth. That too, through the study of Shastra, contemplation, meditation. हर एक आप भजन करो आ जाएंगे. इसी पे भजन कर सकते हैं. सत्यम ब्रह्म सत्यम ब्रह्म सत्यम ज्ञानम ब्रह्म. इसी पे भजन लगेगा, लेकिन ब्रह्म नहीं मिलेगा. ऑन द ब्रह्म तत्व ओनली यू कैन डू भजन. अरे यार, ये भजन से नहीं मिलता हो. The only way is deep contemplation, before which we reject everything asatyam anrutam, which is vikarava. That is why, this vikara shila jagat which I am holding is the cause of my dukkha, my limitation, my bondage, my misery, my frustration and all. When we, by lucky God's grace and Guru grace, when this clicks to us, then the desire to obtain the avikari Sat Brahma, Satya Brahma will become stronger. To that person only Upanishad Vidya, meditation, they become truly meaningful. But everyone will have to reach to that stage only from whatever the stage they are. So we are in our own stage. To reach to that stage only we are studying. Even this also is left the first step, the study of Shastra in the class. Then the understanding about all these intricacies. One side, the Lakshana definition of Brahma. Second is the Marga for the Prapti of the Brahma. When will we understand, Bata? Clear? Think about it. Now, second one. Second also, half of it we explained. Very, very subtle, deep analysis. What is that? I will summarize only what I said yesterday to save time. Yesterday, what was said was when Brahman is found to be avikari, Satyam, okay. Further, the example given by the Guru is Vacharambanam Vikaraha Namadheyam Rutika iti eva Satyam. Two things happen. One is what? Ki world is seen with so much of Vikara. Vikaravan world is there. तो विकारवान शब्द को साइड पे रखो. वर्ल्ड इज देयर. World is what? Is an effect. Then it should have an effect cause. Because the world is vikaravan, the cause should be avikari. And you already told Brahman as avikari. Therefore, the avikari, though the Brahman is karana, that problem will come. Point one. Second is one, just like in the world, for every karya, there is a karana. Second, every karya being jada, the karana also is jada. Therefore, the entire Jagat, which is Karya Rupa and which is Jada, the Brahman also the Jada and is a Karana. These two problems will fall on Brahman. So the Karanatvam comes to the Brahma and Jadatvam comes to Brahma. So to reject that Brahman is not cause of anything, he is as he is alone. And also it is not the perishable jada. It is an imperishable chaitanya. To convey these two things, the next word is used, Jnanam Brahma. Now, on this we have to ponder over. One by one we will see. First of all, Ataha Karanatvam Praptam Brahmanaha. Brahma has become Karana. See, when we listen, Paramatma is the Karana of the Jagat, from him only the Srishti Laya came, with his Maya Shakti has done. These are all the lower level knowledges, where still we have value, importance to the world and all, where we have not yet rejected it. But the higher level, Brahman is not even Karana of anything. It is alone itself is there. Why? When the Karanatva comes to it, there are some problems which arise. What is that? We said yesterday, Karana कार्य के रूप में बदलने के लिए कारक बनना पड़ता है, या कारण से कार्य का उत्पत्ति के लिए कारकता का जरूरत है. कारकत्व मीन्स मॉडिफिकेशन. So just now we said avikari, and now immediately you say the vikari. क्या बोल रहे? Some karaka pratyaya has to be added for the karya to come from karana. Like for the mud, the karana, if the karya, the pot has to come out, some pratyas have to be added to it. Karaka pratyaya कहते हैं उसको. And what are they? The rupa and the nama. Immediately the karana, mud, is transformed into the karya, the pot. Karaka. Just mud by itself cannot be called as pot. A form should be, a name should be given, Rupa Nama. They are called the Karakas for that to happen. So when the Karakatva of Rupa Nama is given to the mud, so inevitably be attentive. Mud nature is not accepted at that moment. Then only it can be called as pot. Then when the mud's nature is forgotten or given up, then it has become vikari. Therefore, nullifying the upper point of Brahma being Satya. Therefore, the Karanatvam of the Brahman has to be rejected. Clear? Ata Karanatvam. And another thing is what? When it becomes Karaka, then it is a Vastu. When it is the Vastu, Mrudvata, that it becomes Achitta, Jada ho jata hai. The moment it becomes Karaka, it becomes the Vastu Lakshana is Achitta or Jada. Therefore, to remove that, therefore, Ataha idam uchyate. This is said. What is that? Jnanam Brahma iti. Therefore, Brahman, Satyam is taking us to that reality which is without vikara. But that is not enough. We have to talk about a Brahman which is a Karana Rahita also, Jada nahi hai, Chaitanya also, Chitta also. Because anything which is a Karana, it will have a Karakata, then it will be subjected to modification, then it is no more Satyam. Second is what? Anything which is Karana, like the mud is the Karana for the other things, it has to become Jada, Achetana. And Jada, Achetana, again subject to time, therefore it is destroyable. Because of this reason also, the Satyata of the Brahma goes away. That is why, to avoid that problem of becoming Karana, thereafter becoming the Jada, the second word is used, Jnanam Brahma. Now we have to analyze what Jnanam is Brahma, in which the Karanatvam and Jadatvam are Pratisiddha, rejected. You have to contemplate. Here the 4-5 words are very crucial, very important, difficult to analyze, but not impossible. We can understand. Mm. 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 To make it understand, to make it simple, kya hai na? As we just now said about the our experience of the world, same thing we take here. How do we have the knowledge of the world? We have the knowledge of the world of anything through our upadhis. And what is the final upadhi? The vrittis. And what are the final vrittis? That the knowledge of object, object of knowledge, knower of the knowledge of the object. I am taking you directly to the ultimate thing. Everything is that's way only known. So essence I am telling here. See what we are analyzing, Jnanam Brahma. Which Jnanam is Brahma is being said by Guru here. Before that, we are just taking a little help with our own intellectual understanding as to what knowledge, how we have the knowledge of the world. That way, the Brahma is not Jnanam. To come to that, we are understanding this first. How do we have the Jnanam of the world? Like a Jnanam of the chair. What is exactly happening in the chair Jnanam in me? The chair Jnanam is Vrityatmakam. First you understand. First and foremost is, it is a thoughtful knowledge. Without vritti, you cannot have the knowledge of anything in the world. है कि नहीं? तो एक तो वृत्ति वाला दोष हो गया. Second also what? In this vrityatmaka jnanam, which is essential for knowing anything in the world and not required for the Brahma, that's what we are going to discuss. But इसी को पकड़ो पहले. Anything of the world is known through vritti only. Without vritti, the jnanam of the world cannot happen. And in the vrityatmaka jnanam of everything of the world, we have to have all the three. Three vrittis are required. Chair vritti is required. Is it not? Aham vritti is required. Is it not? Jnata vritti कहते हैं उसको. Then the jnata has another thought of the knowledge of the chair. Is it not? No, any one of these three are not there. Will the jnanam happen? If the chair vritti is not there, how can you have the knowledge of chair? So too, if the knower of the chair vritti is not there, the knower vritti, aham vritti कहते हैं उसको, then who will know it? And through the contact, okay, through the upadhis of eyes, etc., when the knowledge vritti of the chair is not there, how do you know the chair then? So this is how Vrityatmaka and Triputiatmaka is the jnanam of everything in this world. But the Brahma jnanam is not like that. In Brahma, and then remember, in this Triputi vritti of Jnata vritti, Jnaya vritti and Jnana vritti, all the vrittis are jada, be attentive. But they are giving the knowledge of the object to the knower because of the illumination again of the Chaitanya Tattva only behind them. If this Chaitanya, the awareness is not there, Jnata is not Jnata, Jnayam is not Jnayam, and Jnanam cannot exist. So Brahma is that Jnanam, clear? Which is supporting these three of Jnata, Jnaya, Jnana, Triputi, but itself is none of these three. So that pure thought-free knowledge, Triputi-free knowledge, Vritti-rahita knowledge is called as Jnanam. That Jnanam is Brahma. Not this type of Jnanam which is dichotomized as Jnata, trichotomized as Jnata, Jnanam, Jnayam. ज्ञानम को साइड पे रख दो. ज्ञाता ज्ञेयम के रूप में डिवाइड होने वाला ज्ञानम नहीं है, ब्रह्म वाला ज्ञान. So it is a pure, like Satyam Brahma is what? It is such a avikari that every Rupanama is vikara yukta, it is rejected. What is unrejectably Satyam? It is so abstract, but experiential. In the same way, Jnanam also so abstract, it is not concretized, substantiated by the vrittis, where the knower is there, none is there. So it is such knowledge which is not divided into knower and known. Knower, known are the vrittis. In the vrittis, when the consciousness enters, then the knower knows the known. That is called knowledge. This knowledge is not like that. तो वो ज्ञान जहाँ ज्ञेय वस्तु और ज्ञाता अलग होना चाहिए, वो जगत का ज्ञान है. बट इन द ब्रह्म ज्ञान, it is not that jnanam where the jnata gnayam there are two and the connection between them is called as jnanam. ऐसा नहीं है इधर. It's a pure jnapti swarupa. That is why the word is used. And to make it simple, we say we are conscious of everything. Remove all that thing, what remains is pure consciousness. No, that is Brahman. In this way, if it is said, you can at least try to let it apprehend. And we have to find the logics why it has to be. Why Brahma cannot be a Vritti Jnanam? Basically, if it is a Vritti Jnanam, Vritti तो सिर्फ objects का होता है. And is there any bigger Vritti than the Brahman which can catch in its womb the Brahman? So these are all the discussions come in the higher textbooks of Vedanta Vicharana and all. जब ऐसे बैठकर घंटों विचारणा करते हैं आश्रमों में, वो ब्रह्मज्ञानी लोग ऐसे करते जाते हैं. We take Bhagavan's Bhashyam, that will be very easy for us. Even on the Bhashyam, the Karikakara, yes, who is that Karikakara? Sureshwaracharya. How many events goes on developing. Some other life we will study the same with Karikas also. Vartika कहते हैं उसको. Karika is Gaudapada, sorry. Vartikakara. Karikakara is Gaudapada, Vartikakara is Sureshwara. Gaudapada is Paramaguru of Shankara Bhagavan. Sureshwara is the Shishya. So Vartikakara, he writes the Vartika on Chandogya, this one. Pradvartika, then Taittiriya Vartika he has given. In that, to substantiate both the Mula Mantra and mainly Bhagavan's Bhashya, how many example logics he uses is very interesting, fascinating study if we can show that interest. That we will not do straight away here. Now, what is done? To remove the Karanatvam, or to remove the Jadatvam, which have come to Brahma when the Brahma is said as Satyam. Another word is used for Brahma to remove these two things. That is called as Ataha Idam Uchyate Jnanam Brahma iti. Therefore, what is the second word used for Brahman? Jnanam. Why is used? To remove the Karakatva, Karanatva, as well as Jadatva. Now, what is this Jnanam? Like we explained the Satyam. Yad Rupena Yad Nishchitam Tad Na Vyavicharat Satyam. Yad Rupena Yad Nishchitam Tad Na Vyavicharat Satyam Sad Vyavicharat Chet Anrutam. Therefore, everything Vyavicharat Vikaravan is Anrutam. Therefore, Brahma is Avikari. As we discussed and arrived at the subtle meaning of the word Satyam, same exercise here done for the Jnana. Explanation of it. First he said, Jnanam Brahma iti uchyate. Okay? Now start. What is Jnanam? The words used are Jnanam means Jnaptihi. Jnanam means Avabodhaha. Jnanam means Bhava Sadhanaha. These are the three words we have to become thorough in. Jnana means Jnaptihi. Jnana means Avabodhaha. Jnana means Bhava Sadhanaha. So first thing, what is the Jnapti? Jnana means the pure consciousness, not of something. Shuddha Jnanam, which has not dichotomatized into Jnata, Jneya, the Dvaitam, and also the Vritti Jnana Rupi, third aspect. Not these three are there. Pure Jnapti Sarupa means this. Like when you close eyes, so many thoughts are there. Every thought is illumined by the consciousness. And the knower of every thought is there behind. Well, I know I have a thought in my mind of something. So, all these thoughts, if they are eliminated, still the consciousness is there, That is called Jnapti Swarupa. That is the Jnanam. Here we are talking for the Brahman. Point one. Second is what? Avabodha. Bodha is awareness. Avabodha is continuous awareness. The other knowledges are not continuous. Is it not? Like I saw a fan. तो फैन ज्ञानम हो गया मेरे को. Is it continuous? No. The moment I shift my attention onto the tube light, the jnanam of the fan is gone, the jnanam of the tube light came. So this bodha is not our continuous of the worldly things. But what about the awareness? It is continuous. That's the meaning of avabodha. One is Jnapti Swarupa, is pure consciousness, not having the vrittis in it. Vritti Rahita Jnanam is Jnaptihi. Then Nirantara, unbroken Jnanam is called Avabodha. Therefore, continuous consciousness is the Jnanam, that is Brahma. It is consciousness, not something conscious of. So too, it is not broken thing. It is continuous. Therefore, Avabodha. And third one is what? Ki Bhava Sadhana Jnana Shabdaha. Bhava Shabdaha means again it's Bhava Sadhana. It's a abstract word. It is Bhava Sadhana Jnana Shabdaha. Means what? Jnana Shabda is be attentive. As it is as Chaitanya, so it is that it is. As it is the Chaitanya, so it is Chaitanya. Bhava means Bhavanam. Bhavanam means Bhu, means jo hai. Sadhana means जानना. भाव साधना इस ज्ञान मतलब वो जो है जो उसका जैसा का वैसा है उसको ज्ञान या भाव साधन कहते हैं. It has not changed. Now what is the change here? Change is natu. He says the next word natu jnana kartru. There is no kartrutva in the jnana. Like ing when you add, like walking, talking, the gerund is added, the kartrutva happens in it. Is it not? Drive, it's an abstract word, but driver, driving, the car is driven. So how many of the things that are happening when the kartrutva is added? So, bhava sadhana natu jnana kartru means what? The pure existing conscious only we are speaking about. There is no jnana kartrutvam. The knowership is not there. The knowingness is not there. See, the two things. He is neither the knower nor that is a known. There is a knowing in between. ज्ञान कर्तृत्व वहां निषेध किया जा रहा है यहाँ. सो भाव साधना न तो ज्ञान कर्तृ. वही कि ब्रह्म विशेषणत्वात् सत्य अनंताभ्याम सह. Now the explanation starts here. Is Brahma only is Jnanam said by the Shruti Mata? No. Shruti Mata said Jnanam Brahma ko Satya bhi kaha, Ananta bhi kaha. So when you try to make the Jnanam explanation of Brahma as Kartru, the other two things gets disturbed. How is it so? Like when the Jnapti Matra Brahma, when you add the Kartrutva to it, विकार हो गया कि नहीं? विकार हो गया. Then what was said earlier? Brahma vikarat nivartayati. So that problem will come. Therefore, this jnana Brahma has to be that jnana Brahma. We should fulfill the lakshana of the Satya also. Satya lakshana is vikara rahityam. Therefore, the jnana lakshana Brahma also should be vikara rahityam. But it becomes a jnana kartru, then kartrutva is vikara yukta. Because you go on having knowledge of one after the other things. Change hota hai reh raha hai. Because I am the knower of this chair, I am the different knower of the something else. The vikara aa gaya isme, then it will not fulfill the satyatva shabda. Therefore, inevitably, the jnanam here spoken about is kartru rupa nahi. Is only bhava sadhana rupa. That means what? In this jnanam, there is nothing done to know. Doing something to know something is the job of the vrittis. The vrittis, through the sense organs, go on to that object and take the shape of that object in the chitta. Then to that, the Chaitanya illuminates, then the object is known. So there is a kartrutva is there in that knowledge of anything other than Brahma. In Brahma, jnana kartrutva nahi hai. It is the pure existing consciousness. That's it. Now, these are all very high level of contemplation by which the jiva with all his natakbaji, they are rejected. क्योंकि जीव ही इंद्रिय मन के द्वारा ज्ञान पाता है. वो वाला हम जीव को थोड़ी जान रहे इधर, ब्रह्म को हम जान रहे. जीव इज ऑलवेज ज्ञानी, बट ब्रह्मन इज नॉट ज्ञानी लाइक द जीव. Jiva is a jnani through his upadhis and is jnana karta. So Brahman is not jnana karta like the Jiva to have the upadhis. And in Brahman there is nothing to be known also other than him. Then why there is a jnana kartrutva required? Only when the two things, then we know the knower knows the known when the known is there. When Brahman is all pervading everywhere, it alone is there, other than that is nothing true, then how can the jnana kartrutva come in it? दो है तो एक दूसरे को जानेगा ना. कर्तृत्व प्रतिषेधम. Okay. So the vikara pratisheda is done by saying satyam. Kartrutva pratisheda is done by the jnanam, jnapti, shabda. Then this is such a jnanam which can never become jada. The word jadata also is rejected that way. So, natu brahma visheshanatvat satya anantabhyam saha. Now, nahi satyata anantata cha ज्ञान कर्तृत्वे सति उपपद्यते. अगर इस ब्रह्म जिनको ज्ञान कहा वो ज्ञान कर्तृत्व सहित ज्ञान है, तो as we said, because of the kartrutvata the vikara happened. Because vikara happened, the satyata is disturbed. And when the kartrutva comes, see, kartrutva of jnana kya hai? Ki something is known, then another thing is known, another thing is known. So there the antata is coming. The अनंतता जो थर्ड वर्ड है ब्रह्म का, वो इधर सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रहा. Therefore it has to be pure ज्ञप्ति मात्रम, अवबोध मात्रम, भाव साधना मात्रम only. It cannot be the ज्ञान कर्तृ. So what is the meaning of it? Knowing the Brahman is not knowing like knowing anything. In other knowings, you have to use the means and there is a kriya is going on of knowing. No, you open the eye and then you look at the form and you say this is a tree. So these are all ज्ञान कर्तृत्व. उस ज्ञान को पाने के लिए कुछ करना पड़ा. If you don't do, if you don't have the eye, if you are not focusing there, if the thought is not formed in the mind, if the mind thought is not illuminated by the chaitanyam, इतने करना पड़ेगा, इतने चीजें, तभी ज्ञान होता है. When you say the ज्ञानम ब्रह्म, it is not this way. The ब्रह्म को जानने वाला ज्ञान वस्तुओं को जानने वाले ज्ञान के समान नहीं. Understood? Like a pen, a knowledge of the pen. Brahman, knowledge of the Brahman. So the knowledge of pen, the knower has to become the karta to do the karma of knowing it. पेन को जानना है तो ज्ञान कर्तृ होना है ज्ञाता को, और ज्ञान कर्म करना पड़ता है वहां, यूजिंग द उपाधिज, यूजिंग द वृत्तिस. ब्रह्म इज नॉट लाइक दैट. देयरफॉर ज्ञप्ति स्वरूपम एव ब्रह्म. In that jnata, jnana, jneyam, Triputi is not there, nor the vrittis are required here. In everything other than the world, vrittis other than Brahman, vrittis are required. Then only jnana will come. Do you understand? Like Jagrat. Jagrat is jnanam, but vrityatmakam. Swapnam. Swapnam is also jnanam, vrityatmakam. Sushupti also is a jnanam, the jnanam of abhava, of everything. But that also vritti. Brahma Jnana is not Vrityatmaka. Brahma Jnana is not like Jnata Jnanam Gneyam Tripati. When you drop that, what remains is technical called as Jnapti Swarupa. That in English is Shuddha, pure consciousness, not consciousness of something. So it's the Brahma Jnanam is not Jnanam of Brahman. Jnanam itself is Brahman. Think थोड़ा सा वो abstract ऐसा लगता है, but then when you pray to Shruti Mata and Guru Bhagwan and continuously try to analyze, suddenly one day it clicks. Every scientific discovery was a hypothesis, imagination, long years of efforts they have put. Suddenly one day it clicked. How much they might have thought to invent the aeroplane? How much of the effort gone into the making of that bulb, which is easily made now, but the first one when he discovered, he went on. In the same way, you and I, when we go on listening to these Vishayas, what is meant by them in the deep sense, it starts appealing to us. So, Jnanam Brahma. So Brahma is not that Jnanam, or Jnanam of Brahma is not that way. Like we have the Jnanam of the Vastus. It's a Jnapti Swarupa. Means what? Like Satyam Brahma, when he said, Satya became Lakshana of the Brahma. In which way that Satya has to be understood, we saw. So to Jnanam is Brahma, he said, Jnana is the Lakshana of the Brahma. Which Lakshana of the Jnana is becoming the Brahma, that Lakshana of the Jnana, which is not having Vritti, which is not divided into Triputi. And there is no Kartrutvam in this Jnana. Kartrutvam ho gaya isme, then it will become Vikari, then it is no more Satya. Because of the Kartrutvam, any Kartrutvam cannot be permanent, therefore it gets ended, then the Anantata goes away. That is why all these three words put together is Brahma. But with each word we reach to Brahma, we substantiate that explanation by seeing whether it satisfies the other two words or not. Other two are understood, they are satisfied, then only we are understanding Brahman correctly. Now, all this is contemplation. What we are talking with the mouth, with the opened eyes, seeing the book and looking at you, it's all the deep contemplation in me. Jnanam Brahma. Which Jnanam Brahma? No, we have not ended. It's only beginning. The Jnanam Brahma will take 2 more days. Because Purva Paksha will come and ask some question. Siddhanta will give such a perfect answer. There is little sarcasm, little humor also is there, and little gambhirata. That will come. We will see. Now, nahi satyata anantata cha jnana kartrutve sati upapadyate. So when the jnana kartrutva aa jata hai, satyata anantata will not be satisfied. That will go away. But all three are Brahma. Only one is not Brahma. Remember, what Shrutimata said as Satyam Jnanam Brahma, Bhagavan Shankara's job it is through Bhashya to convey to us the whys and hows of it. He is struggling for that. श्रुति माता टोल्ड सत्यम ज्ञानंदम ब्रह्म यो वेद नीत गुहायम, वो आगे बढ़ गई, बट हमको रुक कर समझना है. यू एंड आई कैनॉट. भाष्यकार इज एक्सप्लेनिंग नाउ ज्ञान कर्तृत्वेन ही विक्रियमाणम कथम सत्यम भवेत अनंतम च. So when the kartrutva came in the jnana, then jnata jneya vikriya has happened. When the vikriya has happened, vikriya means that modification. Then the Brahman is Satyam, Satyam is unmodifiable, which we have already seen. That thought gets disturbed, that knowledge gets disturbed, that understanding of Brahman gets disturbed. Satyata of the Brahma goes away if the jnana of the Brahma is Kartrutva jnana. So because in the jnana Kartrutva, the Triputta, Dvaita has to be there. The Gneyam and Jnata. No, when Gneyam Jnata came, Vikara ho gaya. One pure Satya or existence or Satyam has become two. When it become two, the Vikara aa gaya. So when everything is Vikara, is Abrahma and Asatyam. We already discussed further Satya Shabda. Second is what? Anantam cha katam. Because yati na kutaschit pravibhajyate tadanantam. That which is never broken and which is always continuous, that is Anantata of the Brahman, which is the third word. Of Jnana Kartrutvecha, dekho listen. When the Kartrutva of the Jnana comes, not a pure Jnana as it is, Kartrutva Jnana comes, Jnaya Jnana Abhyam Pravibhaktam. That's what I said. The Jnaya and Jnana ke रूप में a pure Vastu ya Jnanam gets differentiated or separated. Iti Anantata nasyat. The modification भी हो गया into the jnana, jnata. But the jnata will not be the knowing, knower of only this one. Other thing you will know. Because of which the antata goes away. Anantata goes away, sorry. Ant ho jata hai wo. Therefore, the modification aspect rejected of the Satya Vastu, Anantata aspect of the Ananta Shabda, satisfying them only we have to understand the Jnana. So that is only pure Jnapti. It is not Jnana Kartru. What is the Jnana Kartru? There is a action going of knowing, wherein the knower knower are separate from each other. And they need the means of thoughts. These all are not there. In that Jnanam, which is called Jnapti Swarupa, that Jnanam is Brahma. Otherwise, physics knowledge, chemistry knowledge, we have the knowledge of everything, but there is not a mukti giving knowledge. If the knowledge of Brahman also is like these knowledges, as much these knowledges are not giving Brahmana, so not giving moksha, so too Brahmagnana will not give moksha. But we are to moksha, and moksha is only through Brahmagnana, and the Brahman is Jnana Swarupam. And what is the which Jnana Swarupam? Not this way, like every other Jnana. It is Suddha Jnapti Swarupa, it is only Bhava Sadhana. It is also its own self. The word used here is ki Bhava Sadhana Avabodha Matra. Pure Avabodha, it is Bhava Sadhana Jnapti Swarupaha. This is how it is. It's not Kartru. It has no thoughts. It has no dichotomization into knower and known. So knower and known rahita, vritti rahita, jnana kartrutva avashyakata rahita, jnanam is called jnapti, is called avabodha, is called bhava rupa, that is called parabrahma. That's the meaning of jnana. So it's pure God. Means what? Because of millions of lives, we are living in the world with only the mentation knowledge. Means through the mind, the knowledge of the world is gained. We try to think or understand the Brahman also like that. Then what will happen? The understanding of the Brahman comes, but Anubhava will not come. Brahma Anubhava alone gives moksha. Aham Brahmasmi. Not understanding. Brahma is not a concept to be understood. So too, the Jnanam is not conceptual Jnanam, Vrithyateva Jnanam of the Brahma, it is pure Jnapti Swarupa. इसको ऐसे ही बोलना पड़ता है. There is no other way than this to tell. अगर होता तो भगवान शंकर would have been telling us that only, no? Tomorrow when we do this thing, exercise, like in a yoga acharya, you go, yoga sadhana, he will tell you to do the dhanurasana. You can't even sleep on the stomach. For doing dhanurasana, you have to do it. It takes 5 days for you properly be on the stomach lying. Then slowly it tells you lift your legs and then hold it with your hands. You don't like, पता ही नहीं चलता जिंदगी में सबके पाँव पकड़ पकड़ के अपने पाँव मिलते नहीं हाथ में. Then slowly bending. After 1 month, he touches the toe. Then he thinks he has mounted the Everest. Then slowly touches the leg, and then that portion he catches. Then you have to stand only on this nabhi. That is called your धनुरासन. नाभि के ऊपर खड़े होना, मतलब ऐसा लेट के. Where the hands and legs are held, head is high. No, will it come on first day when you start? If you try out, टूट जाएगा वो. There is only one asana, Shavasana. The other day I was thinking, every asanas are from the animals only. Only one asana from the human beings, and that is Shavasana. Dead body. That means only when he dies, there's a peace in the world. Anyway, to him also. So you don't do this, like we said that you do the halasanam. Halasanam karne ke liye it is mostly you have to know sarvangasanam first and all. To even to do sarvangasanam, you have to do the naukasanam and all. They are all step by step developing asanas. है ना? शवासन से नौकासन में आओगे, नौकासन से में slowly you come to sarvanga. From the sarvanga you do the halasanam. Halasanam with the Vastrikar Anuloma Viloma, it is great sadhana. People do their Mahayogis. You and I do it. Halasana ka hal, maine ka, हमसे होगा ही नहीं. But when you keep on doing, same way. These Vishayas, once, twice, thrice, when we start listening, contemplating, understanding will come. Clear? Let us see it tomorrow. Sarvam Narayana Arpanam. Om, 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 Om. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramanashibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shruti Matre Namaha. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. The effort to understand itself is a beautiful beginning. Let it continue. Thank you. Hari Om all. God bless.